Hello, my beautiful tribe. This is Emily Potter. I'm the director of the Lightworker Musicians Tribe and the Million Kisses Foundation. I'm going to share my personal experience in this video as always and give great honor to those who are experiencing this in our tribe. We had a couple of the threads actually talk about this in the last week or so. So if this is you, you'll want to tune into this video. Are you hard on yourself after you hear yourself on a recording or after you listen to yourself perform? Okay, so my personal experience with this just recently is that I am releasing a new album in the fall, and I just got the audio files back from my sound engineer in LA. And this is now my third, actually my fourth album, but I call the first one wasn't done in a professional studio, but the other three were. So I have 4 albums, and every time it comes back to me, I have now learned that this is an era that I go through when I get the audio files back, that I cringe in such deep criticism. It's like I can't even remember that I even love music at all. I can't even remember that I even loved that song or why I chose that song to be on the album. It's like I'm so far gone in my deep self-criticism. So if you can relate to that, let me know if that's something that you do as well. So we had tribe members talk about themselves. They were in a performance, and the hard thing is that when you're in the live experience in the studio or on stage, you feel really good. It feels so good, and you feel like you're doing so well, and you feel like you did a really good job. And so when you listen to the recording afterward, it's death-defying to see, oh my gosh, and you're cringing. It's just so hard. So some of the experiences and feelings that you might feel afterwards, and you're just that deep criticism and feeling so hard on yourself, is you're embarrassed. There's no way you want people to actually listen to this. You're embarrassed, you're angry, you could possibly just be frustrated. I mean, there's so many different emotions that can happen in there, and maybe even depression, like, oh my gosh, I'm just not, that I just gave my best and it's not good. And you're just picking at every little thing. Like mine was that I was off pitch like 5 or 6 times, like really poignant times, and just hard to listen to. It's really depressing. So I want to share with you, though, there is a way through this. The first thing, I'm going to share actually something really exciting at the end, but I first want to say there is a way through this. And one of the tools that I want to share with you is that what I've learned for myself is that when I'm ever going to go into the performance experience or the recording experience, I know that what's coming up. I know that I'm going to be going through the era of self-criticism. I have not yet superseded that era, so I know it's coming. It always surprises me when it's there, but I know it's coming. And so I was sitting in it when I was listening to these audio files, and I forgot that it was the era because I'm just so deep in it. But then I remembered, oh yeah, this is the era where I like kill my own music. I can't stand it. That's right. This is an era. It won't always be this way. And even just going through it in that way, you have permission to have that criticism. I don't know if you need to let that go all the way, because you do want to, you're always wanting to improve yourself. And yet the solution I'm going to offer you actually get you through it and on the other side a lot quicker, because you don't have to stay in that era and in that space of the creation process. So I'm going to give you something very beautiful. I'm going to actually read to you the exchange that I had with my sound engineer. We were emailing each other, and I want to let you know that he's a good man out in LA. He's been doing this for 20 years, 20 plus years. He's seen international musicians coming through his studio, and he knows what he's talking about with this. These musicians coming in, and he gets to hold space musically, professionally, and then also on this really tender space of I can hold space for you in your process as you completely criticize everything you just did with me. So I want to actually read to you what he wrote to me in an email. And I'll say that he gave it to me when I was at my most tender space. I felt like he was throwing me a rope while I'm drowning in the river of self-criticism. So that's how dire it was for me. And then he said these words to me. Again, people who just tuned in, this is after 20 years of working with clients, and he's worked with professionals from all around the world. This is really someone who knows what he's talking about. He says, I always tell my clients that they, the artists, are much more critical of the music than the listeners. The listeners want to experience emotions and be moved. They're not thinking about little details of timings or pitch of the musicians. And if they do, oftentimes they are endeared by it. Paul Simon's hits, for example, have terrible pitch issues, but who cares? The songs say something and move people. Now, this is after several times talking to him about my criticisms. And it's not like he's saying just throw quality out the window. He's not saying that. He's saying, here's who you are right now. Here's what you created right now. Don't miss the magic of what you created right now by tearing it apart like a lion with just teeth, grabbing it and throwing it and shredding it to pieces. Don't miss it. Don't miss the beauty of what you created. Yes, there's improvements. Yes, there's little tonality things. Yes, there's things. And yet get into the heart of what you just created. And this is actually a universal theme with anyone who ever creates anything. It's the choice between keeping your music in your basement, never to be heard, or actually allowing people to be part of the process as you become a master. Which one serves you best? I don't know the answer for you. If it actually works best for you to just wait till it's perfect, and even if it means 20 years of no one listening to your music, you'll know if that's right for you. So who you're listening to right now is someone who has chosen to let people be part of the process with me. And it takes a considerable amount of bravery and courage to do it this way, because I'm allowing people to see how I'm allowing you to see I'm putting something out in the world, and I know, I am cognizant of it not being perfect. So he actually told me when we were in the studio, he said, I want you to see that when I listen to your music, I'm feeling personal with you. I feel like we're on the front porch and you're singing a song to me. It's so connective in this way. And no one, if we're sitting on the porch, is going to say, you are off pitch. I'm sorry, I can't actually enjoy this moment with you. He's sharing the magic of the moment with me, and I'm saying things with my heart. So I actually wrote back to him after I had a whole process, and I want to read to you what I said. I said to him, there are certainly ways I would improve. We're at the end of the completion of the project, so we're going forward at this point. So I said, there are certainly ways I would improve this, and I am off pitch several times, but I cannot deny that the spirit of each song is fully present. The heart of the album is alive. And that is what endures. And then I told him, I have decided that I'm going to lean into its rawness as this album's greatest selling point. We're back to what we said in the studio. This album is an invitation to come sit with me on my front porch under the stars. So that's the album that I'm going to be offering the world in the fall. And boy, did it bring up stuff for me. And I share it with my tribe now because I am part of the world with you. I am one of your listeners, and I am inviting those of you who are perfectionistic and harsh and critical on yourself to actually lean in deeper to the message of your song, to the spirit of the song, to the heart of why you create in the first place. And I'm asking for those things to come forward and asking you to allow me to be part of your creation process. This is specifically key with the message, and we talk about that with our music medicine. This is what our message is to the world. When you can get very defined and clear about what your heart's soul's purpose is, your message from your music medicine, when you can do that, then you attract those listeners. They are vibrationally matched. There's a resonance. And then those listeners couldn't care less about all of the nitpicky things. They're craving the medicine, the healing energy of your song. And that's what this sound engineer was telling me is, Emily, you've gotten very clear with the heart of this album and the music medicine that you're offering. So people are going to be endeared by the process of you getting it out there. It's a whole other way. And this is why this tribe is so powerful, is that we are overcoming patterns of perfectionism so that we can actually get our music medicine out there so the healing can occur today. Now, if you are doing it a different way, by all means do it, and this video isn't for you. But the rest of you, it's an invitation. So as always, I ask you to get clear about what your music medicine is, your soul's purpose, the spirit of what we're doing here, the light work behind the music. And when you are ready to take it so that we can actually vibrationally match with the medicine seekers, this is what I do with my clients. This is what we do. We actually get very, very clear and poignant so that you can actually get and reach the listeners. And all of that feels so liberating because you're back in the fun of it. You're back into the healing, the nature, the source energy running through you. You're not spending time just sitting there criticizing every little thing about your music. There's no time for that. We have music healing to do. When you're ready to do that, we get to go on an adventure together, and you are invited to reach out to me. And this is what the power is of you getting it out there, resonating, feeling free in your music. And you don't have to spend time criticizing. You feel liberated. For those of you who are ready to do that, reach out to me. We will get to work. We will resonate with those people who are listening and ready to listen to you and receive the fullness of who you are. I see a lot of people here. Thanks so much for being here. Lots of love to you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.